He does this every fucking time. Don't.
I know what you're talking about.
Say shit about these walls, but knock it out. Shut up.
So, X-Men First Class, your first time seeing it. What did you think of it?
So, I had to because I did have to watch this twice. Once just because, and then two to kind of get notes and stuff. At first, when it first started, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be this is grim as fuck." Because with the first couple of scenes, I was like, "This is grim as fuck." Okay, we're in Nazi Germany right now. Like, this is what we're doing.
Do you not know the story of Magneto?
What did I say? What did I say? I have not watched any of this shit. I'm not by any means any of the comic books or any of that stuff. I appreciate it because other people do the cosplay and all that stuff, and I appreciate looking at the costumes, but I haven't watched any of it on the DC side or Marvel, except for maybe like a couple of movies, like of course Black Panther and Spider-Man. And
why is it of course Spider-Man, if I may ask?
Huh?
Why of course Spider-Man, but not other ones?
That was mainly because of my brother. And I went to the movie theater when the very first one came out. What was it, 2001?
With Tobey Maguire.
Yep. So that's why I said, of course, because that was more so an excursion with my family.
Okay. So most of your comic book movie knowledge is just Black Panther, Spider-Man. Pretty much it.
And I did see the Hulk at one point, but yes.
You never watched the X-Men cartoons or anything like that growing up?
See, I knew that they were around. It's one of those things okay, I'm going to kind of already break into some of the stuff. As soon as Wolverine came on the screen, I knew it was him.
Right.
But I never seen any of the movies with him in it.
So that's funny. So were you at least aware of the meme that came from this movie?
There was a meme that came from this movie?
With I want to see the real Raven.
No, I didn't. What is that about?
Yeah, that's a meme that's been all over. With him saying I want to see the real whatever, and then they go through it because he's like, I want to see the real Raven. She goes to her Jennifer Lawrence version, and then he says no, the real Raven, and then she goes to the blue version. That's been a meme like crazy ever since this movie came out. So it's funny that you hadn't even been exposed to that part of it.
No, I haven't. Like I said, I'm under the radar unless people like my friends, unfortunately you. No, I'm just playing. That are into it, then I have a bunch of Facebook friends that are into anime, so by nature of association, I see all that shit. So
okay. So we got off track. What did you think of this movie? After it was grim.
Like I said, at first I was like, this is gonna be fucking grim as hell because we're starting with Nazi Germany. But afterwards I was like, okay, I'm kind of getting into it. And then about the part where the younger version of Charles finds Raven in the kitchen, I was like, okay, I'm into this now.
Okay. So what did you think of the whole movie?
The whole entire movie itself, it was really good.
Yeah?
It was really good.
Nice.
I was definitely into it because of themes. I'm a big theme person. The identity and no more hiding. She constantly said that all the time. Raven said that in just about almost every other scene.
Themes are very important in this movie.
Yeah, especially the poetic justice of Eric killing them.
Themes are pretty important with X-Men overall. because so it takes place during a very particular time, which is pretty significant because the idea of the X-Men comics were like kind of shaped around something pretty important of the time, which is civil rights.
Mm-hmm.
Because Charles and Eric, in their own strange way, kind of represent Martin and Malcolm.
Yep, I saw that on a movie review that they were kind of represent, which that also was a huge theme for me because, or what I connected to out of the movie, because I've always had anger issues, you know what I'm saying? And he controls his power through his anger. So Charles constantly reminds him to not go so far.
Yeah, and he also let him know that the power doesn't come from the anger. Like anger is useful to use your power because it's like adrenaline based, basically. So anger was a quicker way to get there, but if you noticed, like with the anger, he wasn't able to do as much like finesse. Like everything with the anger was like brute force. Like he was moving things more like brutally and more like clunky. But when he had him tap into that softer memory, he was able to move that satellite dish pretty smoothly. Which I think is interesting because with a lot of these movies, with the bad guys, the villains, they always draw from like anger, and they aren't as powerful as they could be, which is another dope theme because it's like you don't reach the potential that you could if you're focusing on who and what people say that you can't do. So you try to do everything out of like feeding off of people's negative energy. So you like try to prove them wrong. When you just like, if you worry about the good energy, the good people, you could probably do even more and reach your potential a lot faster and maybe go even further.
Which is also a good point because any person in counseling would tell you that anger is a secondary emotion.
Exactly. And that's basically what he was doing. He was canceling him.
All
like he was basically his counselor.
The whole damn time. He's like, okay, that's enough. It's enough.
No. What do you think about the relationship, or I guess like the triangle of relationship between him, Raven, and Eric?
You know, at first when I was drawing on that and listening him say that they are, he basically like adopted her as a sister, and then she kind of like it's the whole thing, like the whole, yeah, we're friends, but she kind of actually likes him, and then it's just kind of like, I don't know, she looks at him with admiration, but also is still kind of stuck in trying to find her I don't want to say identity. She struggles with her identity.
Oh yeah, definitely. And yeah, it's like, yeah, you adopted me as your sister, but sometimes she's like, hey, we ain't actually
like
related.
Look at me, am I not pretty? Because especially when they were at the bar and he was trying to talk to that other girl. It's like jealousy.
Yeah, which is wild to think about because they met as kids. So they did kind of grow up together, but like every so often she's like, hey, I ain't your sister.
And that's really a huge trope in romantic movies.
Like,
so I keyed in on that one.
Yeah, which is kind of
trope.
It's kind of wild. And just seeing her in this movie, because like I remember not liking her too much as Raven, but I remember that I did like her in this first one. And I think she's a good Mystique, especially in this one. She's a good Mystique. But it's just weird, like seeing her as a person, because like it's crazy because I kind of fall into the way that Charles is feeling about her, because like she's like 19 or 20 when she's doing this movie. So like she has the body of a 20-year-old. but like she has that baby face still in her face. Like you see, still see like the little softness in her face. So it's like it is kind of conflicting. Like you still look like a baby. You do still look like somebody's little sister. like, yes,
like,
you got the body, but
respect
you
me.
you young looking. So like it's kind of weird to see her as Mystique, like because Mystique, she's naturally just naked. So it's like, oh, okay,
we got a problem. You're gonna have to cut this outer pause. Podcast, Dad.
I think I lost my train of thought.
Story.
No. Yeah, so it's just like she looks like a very young woman. Like she almost looks underage because she's just there and naked. But her soft face makes her like feel a little too young. So like I fall into like thinking about her the way that Charles does because it's like, yeah, I can see it in your face. You're still baby.
But I remember being in that position, so I kind of understood her side more too.
Yeah, and it's understandable. But then you had Eric come in and he like, look, I definitely ain't your brother. I see that you a woman. I see that you a mutant. What up, girl?
What up, though?
Hey, that's how he came in. He like, yo, but what up with them powers? What up with that natural Raven?
And the part that I was gonna go towards because I thought it was funny. Basically, how they've already got the teens all wrapped up and they're in that center or whatever, and they're all like showing each other their powers and shit, and basically like kind of partying a little bit. That was funny. And then they come around Charles and what's the girl's name? That's the CIA agent.
Moira.
Yeah, she was like, "What are you doing?" Like it was like they just got in trouble, just like.
and that's the dope thing about it, because like, yeah, these are the first class of X-Men. So like, yeah, look, they all pretty young. They like, look, we finally met other people that are like us. Mm-hmm. We gonna have some fun being around each other. Like
young, dumb, and broke.
What I did not like about that is when homeboy came and like crashed the party later, like Darwin, the guy who's like, I adapt to survive, couldn't adapt to that damn thing he put in the energy ball he put in his body. Mm-hmm. Like, he was a dope character. You could have done some dope stuff with him.
Yeah, I did have that as a bad note. That was like, really, nigga?
Like, yeah, you gonna just kill him off like that?
And then we fall into the stereotype of killing off the black dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
This Black History Month, by the way.
It just didn't feel believable to me because I'm like, his power is literally that he like adapts to survive. Like, his body should have just figured out how to survive that. Like, It just seemed like a cop out to just get rid of a powerful character.
I was like, that was so stupid. But I will say this: I did like. Dang, I should have wrote down these characters' names. What was
Kevin the power? Bacon? I can tell you.
The energy absorbing thing.
Oh, Kevin Bacon's character.
Yeah.
I forget his name. Yeah,
I think that's like
because he's just Kevin Bacon.
Sorry. He's just Kevin Bacon. We'll just leave it at that. Because that was probably like my favorite power, even though it's the evil guy in the story or the movie. I was just like that, like to be able to absorb the energy and redirect it. That was one of the notes that I first put in there.
I liked his power, and I liked the way they showed it visually, with how his hands would like be like moving rapidly. So you would see him forcing all that energy down into one little thing, and then his hands become more solid. Because it's like, oh yeah, got it under control. I was like, man, that's a good visual.
So I would say, yeah, the visuals in the movie overall were really great, especially when Eric had to, or not had to, but he basically was trying to redirect those missiles back at the other people that were trying to send it
Oh,
to.
when he was on the beach.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was another good visual.
It's like, shit, this is good.
Yeah.
But I was pissed off though.
Why were you pissed off?
Charles, like he fucking hurt Charles.
I mean, oh, I was gonna say if you know X-Men, you know he gonna end up in that wheelchair somehow. But you don't really know X-Men.
I don't know X-Men.
Yeah, they had to make sure he got up in that wheelchair at some point because Charles.
I was so mad. I was like, why would you do that?
Yeah, but that's the thing because he was angry. He couldn't control his powers properly.
Charles, yeah. So secondary emotions.
If he wasn't moving in that, don't be moving with that angry energy. You could control his powers better. You want to paralyze your friend. Like what the?
Well, it does give you
actual.
It does give you a physical representation or a literal representation of what it means to need to control your anger, because this is what could happen.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's what's great about these. That's what's great about comic book stories, and it's the allegories that they can use and the metaphors they can show you. It's pretty dope. I love it. Love it.
I can see why.
This is why I love this stuff.
Because I am a beginner, so you know.
Yeah, but and that's why I think these movies are really great because you'll see with like the next few, because the next one that I want you to watch, it's more modern. So how this one has like the layer of like, okay, the layer of like these are mutants. These two guys have different ideologies, and then it kind of goes to like the whole Malcolm and Martin comparison. The next one that you watch, the layer under it being mutants, is also about a different part of society not being accepted too much. You'll probably figure out like the second you watch it, but I'm not gonna tell you what that other layer is now because I want you to see the movie first. But I love that these movies can do that. I love that these stories can do that. It's dope. So much fun.
This was good. This was good. Like I said, I've never really been into the comic book world, but like I said, I can appreciate it from the other people that I are friends with.
I mean, there's a reason why we fall in love with this stuff pretty easily.
Well, that I can see, because like I said, I'm huge on themes and movies and picking out symbolism and trying to find what's going on in the dialogue.
I'm excited for that kind of stuff.
So basically what you're saying is you're trying to get me to come into the world. That's what
I'm just saying, you are a writer. So you should appreciate well-written stories no matter what form they fall into. That's all I'm saying.
And it was very well written too. Very well written script, very well executed, very cinematically pleasing. So
and plus the way I got you watching them, you'll only see the really good ones. You won't have to watch the not so good ones.
Well, how many are there?
Okay, so there's the 3 that came out in like the early 2000s, and then there's 4 that were part of like the second wave, so that's 7, and then there's the 3 Logan movies, so that's 10, and technically Deadpool is a part of that, so it would be 12, but like the Deadpool thing isn't really connected to them, so it's technically like 12 X-Men universe movies, but I think I only have you watching 7 of them, 6 or 7, because you're only going to watch the good stuff, and you'll still see all the stories that you need to see, especially once you get into because once you get into the next movie, you'll get into the more modern X-Men, and you'll get Logan.
Okay.
Logan / Wolverine. And once you get into his story, it really gets good.
I did
Look,
like how when they came to a cameo of him, he was like, "Go fuck yourself." I was like,
loved it.
"Damn,
He's like, get out of my face. I ain't
it's
here
gotta
for
be
y'all.
like that."
He's like, look.
Damn, nigga.
He's like, I ain't in these movies yet. Wait. You gotta wait.
And
I'm
they were
coming
like,
to your universe
"Okay,"
too late.
and they just went ahead and accepted it, and then moved to the next thing. I was like, "Oh,
Hell
all
yeah.
right,
You leave Logan alone if you say leave him alone.
okay."
If he ain't here for you, he ain't here for you. You better move it.
I have a feeling he was drinking my drink, which is Jack Daniels. I
I think he was. Logan likes him some of the dark liquor.
Yes. Okay, I'm probably gonna really like him then.
Well, that's the thing about him, which is weird because it's like him, Captain America, a lot, Superman, like a lot of those guys, they can drink as much as they want because they heal, which means technically their liver heals. They don't really get drunk.
I can't do that though.
No, yeah.
I can't do that.
Us actual folks can't do that.
We can't do that.
We gotta limit ourselves. Well, I'm so glad that you liked the movie. I'm so glad.
Yes, you suggested something good, I guess.
I am 2 for 2 with people in the Discord with solid recommendations. Because you like this and Pocket likes Schitt's Creek. So I'm like, I'm 2 for 2 with these suggestions. I'm about to be throwing out a little bit more suggestions.
Oh Lord, his ego is going to be unstoppable now.
No, I like when people enjoy. No, I like when people enjoy the stuff I like, because I'm like, I know that you can see in this thing what I see in it, and I know it. So I'm gonna suggest this to you because if you see what I see in it, I'm gonna like you even more.
Well, how am I
It's
doing?
also a test. It's also a test of your character. Just by the way, FYI, if you didn't know. Like, let me just go.
What do I always say? There's no hope for this friendship. I swear.
Why you gotta be? Just don't be negative. Okay?
Why you gotta be so rude?
Don't be negative. Be more positive. Okay?
I'm not.
Be more positive. Okay.
Don't do that. Don't
On the
do
day of my daughter's wedding, I need you to be more positive.
Oh, this is why. This is why I say that.
Why you be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too? I mean, come on.
Don't do that. Oh. One thing I'll also say though, I did think it was cool. Dang it, I really cannot remember these names. The Diamond Lady.
Emma Frost.
I think that was pretty cool to turn into to that and be able to cut glass and all that kind of stuff.
Diamond skin. Like, guess what? I'm untouchable.
Dripping in diamonds.
I'm my own best friend.
And then also her trick that she did while messing with that guy that was like
the Russian dude.
Yeah, like it was the illusion that it was her that he was messing with.
That was cold blooded. He thought he was getting it in. He was like,
pathetic.
He's like, nah, bro, I'm over here eating a snack.
You just horrible.
You over there making out with the air.
All the hands and stuff. Like,
look, he was ready for it.
He was ready to get in. And
then she's like, nah, bro. She's like, have you seen me? You don't get none of this.
Nothing.
I love it.
What other things?
I forgot homeboy who played Banshee. That's homeboy from Get Out. He was her brother in Get Out. I forgot he was in that.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The hell? Yeah.
I was like, damn, he was in this. I forgot.
I did like who was his name? They ended up calling him Beast.
Oh, Hank, come on now. Hank McCoy.
Hank's a good character. I liked his character.
So Beast is one of my favorite characters, and I grew up. The first thing I like knew about X-Men was the cartoon series, right?
Okay.
And Beast was basically this huge because, like in this, he looks kind of small. He's not as big as he is as he should be. He
He's
was
still
like
young.
this huge guy, like huge, like tree trunk legs type of big dude. That like that's how Beast was supposed to be looking, and they didn't really do it in here. But I because I prefer the cartoon because he's like this really huge tree trunk leg, barrel chested dude, but then he sounds like Frasier. Like he's very soft spoken, very intelligent. Like I always loved that character for that reason.
This is
And
cute.
you said
And
Pussy's cute.
he was cute.
I felt like he kind of looked like a cat in this, and I was like, became cat face.
Well, I did think it was cute between him and Raven.
That is nice. That is adorable, especially since it's like it's her journey to like, look, bro, let us be us.
Mm-hmm.
Let's accept ourselves for who we are. Don't worry about if people don't accept us. Let's us accept us. And he
Which
was,
it kind of also exposed some of the privilege that Charles had, because not only was he privileged like financially, but he also was privileged in the fact that he just had a mind trick versus theirs is outer in appearance.
yeah, but hers, and that's the thing, because I felt like they didn't address that as much as they could, because yeah, his mutation, Charles's mutation was mental. You didn't see it. Can't tell that he's a mutant until he says, "Oh, I'm a mutant. I can do this." And then with her, hers is full body, but it's if she chooses to show you. So still, it's kind of like a
I
little
did
bit of a disconnect. And then
other people.
yeah, and then with Beast, it's like, oh, his is right here, his on his feet, but still, you can hide that with shoes. Like everybody's was still able to be hidden a little bit. Not until he tried to mess with himself and
Mm-hmm.
it transformed him. Then you out here, ain't no hiding it. Yeah, exactly. This is what happens when you try to run from yourself. Like, look. But I felt like they could have addressed that a little harder. They could have went a little harder at that. But you know, can't be perfect. Can't do everything.
I mean, the representation of a good movie is it's got mostly good, but then there are some things that could have been tweaked.
Yeah. There was one thing that is stupid and it doesn't exactly matter. But if she grew up with Charles, like how come we didn't see Charles's mom? Like we saw her as the form of
Acting
his
as his
mother,
mom.
but we didn't even see his mom ever again after that. And they were only like in their 20s, maybe late 20s. When his mom still be alive? Like where was she at?
Maybe mom was just not, because you remember he also said his mom never was the type to like get him hot chocolate or anything. Maybe mom was out doing what mama wanted to do and being a
Absentee
hot
parent.
girl.
I got you. This is the difference between you and I. I use
What?
the phrase absentee parent, and you said, "Oh, she out there being a hot girl."
She out there being a hot girl.
What kind of?
What? So you don't think she was out there like just traveling and being her and being,
She
all
was being
that?
an absentee parent, is what I'll
She was
call
being
it.
a
Because
hot
I don't know
girl.
what her life was like. I'm not gonna put that on her. I don't know. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know how she's living.
Mama was probably fine. She was out here thoughting and shit.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow.
Wow. Wow.
I'm gonna give you the Owen Wilson. Wow.
Stop it. Oh.
So we're gonna be
No.
smart and careful on this one and not have this go an hour and 35 minutes. So
Okay, all right.
I'm glad you enjoyed the movie. We are gonna move on to X-Men. That's the next one that you'll watch. It's just X-Men.
Okay.
No subtitle, no nothing else. It's maybe I would say ooh, you know what? After thinking about it, it might be like my third or fourth favorite because I really like First Class a lot, and then I like Logan, which is the last one you'll see. I like that one the most. So X-Men has fallen down on the ranks, but that is not anything about the quality of the movie. It's still a very good movie. It's just that I think the quality of these other ones is even better.
Okay.
So that'll be next, and we will come back and talk about it on here next, so you guys will see it, hear it, and experience what she thought of the movie.
The experience of me. Just awesome.
And if you do want to experience more of just her without me, where can they find you?
Y'all can find me at Romantically Jinxed, and that's on all types of platforms: Google, Anchor, Spotify, all that good stuff. You can also follow me on the Purple Vibe. I definitely need to get back into that, but yes, there's plenty of episodes, so please go listen. You can also find me social media wise, Facebook, The Purple Vibe, and Instagram, Pretty Purple Princess 25. Right?
Check that IG. Go follow that IG.
Go follow, cause it's me. It's Tyler T.
I don't know if that's why you gotta follow.
You know what? Haters gonna hate.
Yeah, I don't know what that's like. I'm not a hater. Thank you very much.
Haters gonna hate.
But I appreciate you giving me your time.
Of course.
And we will be back at y'all with another one next time. I won't say it's gonna be the next episode, you see, but it will be soon.